हेलो दोस्तों, नमस्ते, क्या लगता है आप लोगों को वापस से स्वागत है मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल आज सौरभ में। दोस्तों, आज का ये वीडियो होने वाला है बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक के ऊपर। एंड बीइंग अ लॉ एस्पिरेंट, बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ लॉ एंड बीइंग अ पर्सन हु इज अवेयर ऑफ लॉ, you will need to see this video till the end to know the developments which have happened today. So dosto, today the Supreme Court of India, the constitutional bench of Supreme Court of India, which was hearing the PIL requesting the formation of collegium system for the appointment of chief election commissioner and the election commissioner of the Election Commission of India. Supreme Court have given a landmark judgment in which they have said that the chief election commissioner and the election commissioner of the Election Commission of India will going to be appointed by the collegium system. Collegium system which will be same in the line which was there in the appointment of the director of a CBI. That same collegium system will going to now give the recommendation to the president for the appointment of CEC and EC, and that collegium system will comprise of the Prime Minister of India, CGI, and the leader of the opposition party of Lok Sabha or the party whoever having the maximum number of seats in the opposition. So this collegium system announcement given by the Supreme Court of India definitely is a very important announcement. But the main thing is that, and the main question which is there in the mind of every law-abiding citizen or every law-reading citizen, every person who know about the law, that whether Supreme Court have judicially overreached their powers while giving this order. And the reason behind is that because India follow the doctrine of separation of power, and there are three institutions in our country which have to work independently of each other to deliver the results. These three institutes are judicial system, executive, and the legislative, and they have three different major and basic powers. And what is that? The legislative have the power to make laws, executive have the power to implement the laws, and judiciary is there to take care of the implementation of law and whether that law have been followed, or if there is an injury caused to someone because of the wrong law being made. So the powers of the judiciary is to interpret the law and to make sure that every person is given the equal protection of law or is equal before the law. So that is the duty of judiciary, to literally interpret and protect people and the law which is in the place in the country. But today what judiciary have done that they have taken in hand the powers of the legislature and they have formed a law. And how can we say that? To know that, we need to go to our constitution to know about the powers given to the parliament by the Constitution of India in the case of the appointment of the CEC and EC. So for that we need to go to our stream, and to know that we need to see Article 3 to 4, which talks about the formation of election commission, which talks about the appointment of CEC and EC, and which talks about how these appointments have to be done or can be done. So let's go to the stream and see what is there written in our constitution. Then we'll be in the good position to judge whether judiciary have overreached their powers, as there is case of judicial overreach, or judiciary was way within their limits while forming the law. So let's go to the stream.
तो साथियों, आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के पार्ट 15 के अंदर इलेक्शंस की बात करी गई है, और आर्टिकल 3 to 4 जो कि हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल है रिगार्डिंग टू द इलेक्शन कमीशन, उसके अंदर फॉर्मेशन ऑफ इलेक्शन कमीशन की बात की गई है। और इलेक्शन कमीशन के 4 कामों को इसके अंदर बताया गया है, जो कि है बेसिकली इलेक्शन कमीशन के 2 काम होते हैं। पहले तो होता है प्रिपरेशन ऑफ द इलेक्टोरल रोल, ये पहला काम हुआ, और दूसरा होता है इलेक्शंस कराना। 4 पोस्टों पे 4 जगहों के इलेक्शंस कराना, और वो है पहला, फर्स्ट वन इज टू द पार्लियामेंट, देन टू द लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ एवरी स्टेट, देन टू द ऑफिस ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट एंड द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट। तो इलेक्शन कमीशन के 2 काम है, जिसमें पहला काम उसका है इलेक्टोरल रोल बनाना, दूसरा काम उसका इलेक्शन कराना। और इलेक्शन कहाँ कराना? इलेक्शन कराना 4 पोस्टों पे, जो कि आपके सामने है। एक है पार्लियामेंट, एक है लेजिस्लेचर, और 2 तीसरी प्रेसिडेंट और वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के इलेक्शन को। ठीक है, आप इस आर्टिकल 3 to 4 के अंदर चलेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि क्या इलेक्शन कमीशन के जो अंदर कॉम्पोजिशन है वो क्या रहता है। तो 3242 जो सबसे हमारा आर्टिकल इंपॉर्टेंट है इस कंसिडरेशन में जो आज डेवलपमेंट हुई है उसके अंदर वो बात करता है द इलेक्शन कमीशन सेल कंसिस्ट ऑफ द चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर। ठीक है, सबसे पहली पोस्ट जो है वो है चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर की, जिसको हम CEC भी कहते हैं। एंड दे ऑल्सो सेड एंड such number of other election commissioners if any as the president may from time to time fix। if any से क्या हो गया था कि बहुत समय तक सिर्फ हमारे देश के अंदर चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर ही थे और इलेक्शन कमीशन जो बेसिकली थी यानी EC इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया जो बेसिकली थी दैट वाज अ सिंगल पर्सन बॉडी। तो ये बहुत लंबे समय तक ऐसा ही रहा था कि इलेक्शन कमीशन जो थी एक सिंगल पर्सन बॉडी थी। मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली 1990 तक शायद ये ऐसा ही था, क्योंकि यहाँ पे इफ़ एनी की बात थी तो इसलिए प्रेसिडेंट इफ़ एनी प्रेसिडेंट वांट, तो प्रेसिडेंट को उस समय तक किसी प्रेसिडेंट ने चाहा ही नहीं कि और इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स ऐड हों। बट करंट स्टेट में यू हैव अ फॉर्मेशन इन विच यू हैव चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर प्लस you have election commissioners. Now, when we're talking about election commissioners, how many election commissioners right now a person can have? That is, a commission can have. That is also been mentioned here, that such numbers as may be decided by the president. So right now there are 2 election commissioner, और आप जो पहले single person body थी, now that have become the 3-person body, जिसके अंदर there is 1 chief election commissioner and there are 2 election कमिश्नर्स। तो ये हमारी इस समय करंट स्टेटस है इलेक्शन कमीशन का, ECI ऑफ इंडिया का। नाउ अपॉइंटमेंट के ऊपर क्या बोला गया है उस पे आते हैं, दैट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, क्योंकि आज वही हमारा टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन है। दे सेड द अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ द चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड द इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स शैल, सो द वर्ड यूज्ड हियर इज शैल, subject to the provisions of any law made in that behalf by parliament be made by the president। यानी जो कमिश्नर्स का जो अपॉइंटमेंट है वो अपॉइंटमेंट किस पे डिपेंड करेगा, शैल सब्जेक्ट टू द प्रोविजंस ऑफ एनी लॉ मेड बाय द पार्लियामेंट। यानी पार्लियामेंट के पास पावर थी अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर, इलेक्शन कमिश्नर बनाने की, एंड दैट हैव टू बी अपॉइंटेड बाय द प्रेसिडेंट। तो फिर ये जो पावर थी वो पार्लियामेंट के पास थी वह लॉ बनाने की। तो क्या पार्लियामेंट ने बाय लॉ एक अपॉइंटमेंट कमेटी बनाई, एक अपॉइंटमेंट का प्रोसीजर बनाया फॉर द अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर? द आंसर वाज अ वेरी बिग नो। टिल डेट there is no such thing made by the parliament, but definitely the power lies under article 324 subsection 2 with the parliament, and whether Supreme Court have judicially overreached the power of a parliament and have shaken the balance of powers between the 3 pillars of our democracy, is the answer out open for you guys.
So you guys have seen that under Article 324 in the subsection 2, they have categorically mentioned that it is the parliament, the appointment of the CEC and EC is subjected to the law made by the parliament, and there is the president who is going to appoint that on the basis of that law which parliament makes. But the point is that till this date in 2023, even after 75 years of independence, parliament have made no law regarding the appointment of CEC and EC. The current SOP, the standard operating procedure, was that the prime minister going to recommend the names to the president, and president is going to appoint the CEC and EC. So basically that was the executive power of the president only, and on the recommendation of the prime minister. So whether there was any effort being made to make that law, so there was effort being made to make that law, and that was in 1919 when the Goswami committee, the committee report is on your screen, when the Goswami committee recommended the formation of a selection committee for CEC and EC. In that committee that time, what the Goswami committee have said, they said that there will be like 3 people committee, in which 2 will be the presiding officers, or we can say the leader of the parties from the leader of the ruling parties from the both houses, and then there will be the LOP from the Lok Sabha. So presiding officer of Rajya Sabha and presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, which will be the PM, presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha, which will be the leader of the Rajya Sabha, and then there will be the leader of the opposition from Lok Sabha. So this was a recommendation given by the Goswami Committee in 1990 in the electoral reforms, but that was not being implemented because of the lack of the political will, or whatever you can say. So there was no legislative law made by the parliament which have been told in the Article 324 subsection 2. But the point is that Article 324 subsection 2 categorically mentioned that the shall word is there, which I have also told you in the stream, that the Parliament of India have the power to make that law regarding the appointment. Whether they form a committee based on the reports of the Goswami Committee, whether they form a committee based on their knowledge, but that have to be formed by the Parliament of the India, which is the sovereign power of India. But today what Supreme Court have done, they have taken that responsibility in their hand, and they have formed a committee which have to be formed by the parliament, and they have said that this committee will be in process, will be working till parliament by law make any law regarding the appointment of CEC and EC. So after discussion, I hope you guys have answers in your mind. You guys have got the answers that whether it will be the judicial overreach of the Supreme Court of India, or whether Supreme Court of India was within their limits to draw this law and to draw this committee ahead of the Parliament of India, which have not done in the last 75 years. So whether it is the judicial overreach or not, I'll leave this question up to you, to your legal mind, and I hope you guys will drop in the comment box and we'll discuss whether it is a judicial overreach or whether Supreme Court is way within its limit, taking up the law and making it by themselves only, rather than waiting for the parliament to make, in order to serve the justice, in order to serve the autonomous power to the Election Commission of India. And as they said in the CBI case, the parrot is out of the cage. So whether ECI is out of the foundation of the government and become the autonomous body after this, that we have to wait and watch. So dosto, here Saurabh Kharwal signing off. Take care and bye bye.